And as we mentioned, those protests against the president's deportation efforts have spread beyond just L.A., now in dozens of cities across the country. National correspondent Alex Miller is following all of it and has the latest for us. And Alex, this started, as we mentioned, in L.A., but hasn't stayed there. What can you tell us about where some of these protests have been happening across the U.S.?
Well, they started in LA on Friday, but over the weekend they spread all over the country. Every major city virtually seeing protests, at least since that started on Friday. But the White House continues to stand by the arrests that they have been making of those undocumented migrants, despite the fact that thousands of people have taken to the streets. Protests against the Trump administration's immigration crackdown growing across the country. From Los Angeles to Las Vegas, Denver to Dallas, thousands of protesters taking to the streets. In Chicago, a tense moment as a car sped through a group marching downtown Tuesday. Arrests have been made in at least a dozen cities, including over 300 in Los Angeles since Saturday. Mayor Karen Bass declaring a local emergency Tuesday and issuing a curfew for downtown Los Angeles after more than 20 businesses were broken into.
And just the extensive, widespread nature of the vandalism, we reached a tipping point.
Marines now standing by there in addition to National Guard troops deployed by President Trump. The White House defending its show of force.
Right now in California, what we're doing is working. By bringing in the National Guard, by bringing in the Marines right now to back them up, to protect our federal buildings, to protect the highways, to protect the citizens.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott saying his state's National Guard will be deployed and will use every tool and strategy to help law enforcement maintain order. A protester in Chicago telling us she sees no reason for that in her city.
It's peaceful for the National Guard to come. There's no reason.
While protesters say demonstrations have been mostly peaceful, there have been incidents of violence and vandalism in multiple cities over the past several days. And Andrew, protests are set to continue in the days ahead, particularly on Saturday for what organizers are calling No King's Day. It's supposed to be an act of defiance against President Trump and his decision to hold that military parade in Washington, D.C. But those protests were planned even before the anti-ICE protests began. So I think that given the last few days, I think you might expect more people out there on Saturday.
Yeah, and Alex, we're going to have coverage right here on Scripps News, both of the parade and those protests. Scripps News national correspondent Alex Miller for us in New York. Alex, thank you.